What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're gonna be doing a tier list video on the coin shop sins, which is the best coin shop sin in the game. We're gonna be going and ranking them 1 to 7, and going over basically all their kits and letting you guys know which placement they are in the rankings here. 1 is obviously gonna be the best, 7 is gonna be worse, and this is just my opinion because it is a tier list. So just want to let you guys know at the beginning. But before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to 10k subscribers, and at the time of recording this video, I'm at 8.28k subscribers on the YouTube channel. Turn on post notifications if you want to stay up to date with anything 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross related. And with that out of the way, let's hop into the video. Alright, so let's start off the video going over which placement I think each unit deserves to be in. We're starting off with Blue Giant Diane here. So Blue Giant Diane, let's actually just pull her up. She was one of the first free-to-play units we actually got in the story, right? Her and Blue King were like the main free-to-play units everyone had. I just remember them, man. They used to be so crazy back in the day. And still to this day, I feel like Blue Giant Diane does keep up pretty well. Because for her first skill here, she's going to disable attack skills for 1 turn, and then disable attack skills for 2 turns on the rank 2 and 3 with single target as well, which actually does a decent amount of damage from what I remember. So she has Giant's Will as well. Increases the hero's attack by 6% at the end of every turn, limit 5 times. So she's going to be able to stack her attack up to 5 times. 5 times 6 equals 30, so 30% attack total, increasing all your abilities here. Her second skill actually has Rupture, which is very good in the meta, like nowadays as well, against like Goddess Elizabeth and stuff. So I feel like this Rupture card is very nice, and it does do double damage against buffs. So you guys don't know what Rupture is, right? So very good skill right there. And then for her ultimate, it's just straight up attack percent. Regular ultimate's going to do inflict damage equal to 525% of attack on all enemies. This can scale up to 790% at 6 out of 6. With the combined link with Griamore, Diane's actually able to get up to 900% attack on her ultimate, which is like actually scary. There are ultimates that don't even get to 900% that are single target, and Diane's is AoE and can do up to 900% at 6 out of 6. So she's going to be very crazy, man, when she starts getting like her stacks up with her attack. And she's just going to start doing so much damage on her ultimate. You can actually just wipe the entire field. And everyone used to run Alt Rush with Diane initially when she came out. For PvE content, she wasn't bad for farming early on. I remember she actually did pretty well. Because I would actually run her on my boss battle farming stage. Which is, you know, it was not like the best and most optimal state or like optimal unit to farm it with. But she does have her use because she does have an AoE card and an AoE ultimate. So she's not too bad for that. So let's actually go back to the tier list here and put my ranking for Blue Giant Diane. I'm going to give Blue Giant Diane at the moment, because this will probably change as I go through every character, but I think Blue Giant Diane is probably going to be in the very middle. I'd say it's either she's in the middle or she's like number 3. She's like 4 or 3, I feel like, because she is still very good to this day, man. For now, we'll put her in 4 because I still have to go over the rest of these units, and I don't really know where or like which placement I'm going to give each of them. But yeah, we'll put her at 4 for now. The next unit we're going to be going over is going to be Blue King. Let's actually go over him because he's just the next unit. The free-to-play unit that everyone used to have. He was so broken. Honestly, Blue King, at the initial release of the game, he was one of the best units in the game, I would say. Because Red Golter wasn't out initially when the game came out. Blue King was the best unit in the game when the game started. This guy, he was so insane, man, and he stood his time. He was relevant until Goddess Elizabeth came out, like even with Goddess Elizabeth though, because he was on the main alt rush team. You'd run him with the Goddess Elizabeth, Lost Vein, Meliodas, and you have like cleanse with him. He was just so he was just so good, man. You could not stop him. Green Golter did drop and then kind of took his spot on that team, but that doesn't mean he's a bad unit, because he's actually very good still. Because he does have a petrify skill. As you guys remember in PvP, if you petrify, the enemy cannot do anything for 1 turn or 2 turns depending on the rank. And if you run him with a Gother, Blue King can start popping off as well, which is really good. He actually increases Fairy Allies basic stats by 8% as well, so he's going to be able to boost his own stats by 8% and any other fairies on the team by 8% as well for the basic stats. And then his second card here is going to be a cleanse card, which actually removes debuffs on rank 1, heals diminished HP, which is a really good heal actually. Healing by diminished HP does not scale off attack, so you're actually healing a lot of HP if you're really low on it. Like if you're really low and you don't have high attack on your Blue King, you actually can heal up a lot of HP because it's not based on attack like Lilia or like I don't know, there's like other units that have like heal cards that are based off attack, but King's isn't. It's based off of how much diminished HP you have, so he's gonna be really good, and you can crit heal often with the Blue King's heal card right here. And then for his ultimate, it's going to be Shatter AoE, 420% on all enemies at 1 out of 6. 6 out of 6 is going to do 630%, but if you have him linked up with Matrona Diane, he's actually going to be able to get up to 720% of attack at 6 out of 6, which is super insane. Like, Shatter, just ignoring resistance and doing 720% AoE is disgusting, man. He is so good. And he still is to this day. I feel like Blue King is definitely, he has stood the test of time, man. He really has. So for my ranking for Blue King, I think I'm gonna give him either the second or the third spot. there's like the top 3 I think is defined actually. But yeah, it's hard, man. I will put Blue King in the 3rd slot because he has over time he has kind of fallen off a little bit in both PvE and PvP content. He's not the best anymore, but he's still very good. So that is what counts, right? The next unit we're going to be going over is going to be Merlin. So Merlin is a coin shop unit. As you guys know, all of these units are coin shop units, but the main 2 I went over already were free-to-play units. You could still get them from the coin shop, so we do consider them coin shop units. Merlin was the first, I think the first one after Blue King and Giant Diane to actually come out that was a coin shop unit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she was, but yeah, she's basically a really good unit because of her passive. I think that's the most important thing of Green Merlin's kit. Fills allies' ultimate move gauge by 1 orb at the start of the battle. So just by default, if you have Merlin on the team, you get 1 extra ultimate move gauge, and that is so broken. And especially early on, when you were doing content, you were able to get your ultimate so quick because of Merlin being in the backline. And you can actually also run Merlin in the front because she has some really good utility. She has ult reduction on her first skill, so she depletes 1 ultimate move gauge on rank 2, rank 1 as well, and then 450% it depletes 3. And then for her second skill here, she creates a barrier which is equal to her percentage of attack, right? So 375% of attack for 2 turns on her rank 3, which is very good. Like 375% of attack, like if you have Merlin built with an attack defense set, it's gonna be super crazy. But yeah, that's a really nice utility shield right there. And then you have her ultimate, which is going to disable attack skills for 2 turns on the 1 out of 6 without Arthur Link, 540% of attack. At 6 out of 6 is going to do 810% of attack, which is pretty good. But when you have him linked up with Arthur, she's going to do 945% of attack at 6 out of 6, which is very good, man. So Merlin, I feel like, is a really good unit. And till this day, she has a lot of usage actually on alt rush teams. She still is used to this day, and because of that, I'm actually going to give her a really high placement here and actually put her above Blue King. I think she's deserving of the 2nd spot on this tier list because she has the utility where you actually just run her in the backline all the time. If you're running an alt rush team on anything, even in PvE content, if you're running an alt rush team, Green Merlin is always the unit you bring in the backline, and because of that, she's just, she's still relevant. And we're actually going to give her the 2nd spot right there. The next unit we're going to be going over is going to be Red Gowther. Red Gowther, as you guys know, he is one of the best units in the game when he came out, and I think he honestly at the time he was definitely the best unit in the game because Gowther had the most utility out of any unit, being that he had the best card in the game, the rank up skill. So if you guys don't know what the rank up skill does, I feel like a lot of you should know by now. But basically, it increases the skill ranks of all allies on a rank 2, increases a skill rank of 1 ally on rank 1, and on rank 3, increases skill ranks of all allies and increases basic stats by 20% for 3 turns, which is very good, man. 20% basic stats and you're increasing all the skill ranks. It's just super broken, super broken. And then for his first skill, he has disable attack skills, so you can force the enemy not to be able to attack. So you can actually just like spam that with your rank ups. And then also another thing to know about Red Gowther is he increases his allies' attack by 10% at the start of the next turn if the hero does not take damage. And this is a limit 5 times resets upon taking damage. So I remember back in the day, people used to run triple defense Gowther, so you're actually able to like tank hits and patience them. And then actually just use that to keep stacking the attack here, which it was really good like in Guild Boss, I remember initially. So he had like a lot of usage, and Gowther was always used on the team since he came out just because of the rank up skill. It was just too broken, man. If you did not have Gowther, you were at a disadvantage because Gowther was just so powerful at the time. And to this day, you can actually still run Gowther on a unknown race team, this red one. So he's still very good, and I would say because of that, he's actually going to be higher than Merlin on the tier list. We're actually going to give Red Gulter the #1 spot of the initial coin shop units, man. He's just so good. Definitely a keeper. Like, if you have Red Gulter nowadays, do not sleep on him. He is very good, and he can still be in the meta on PvP and PvE content as a farmer as well, because he does have a AoE skill and rank up as well. So he's going to be very good for that. The next unit we're going to be going over is going to be Nunchuck Bon. Nunchuck Bon is a unit that people, I don't know, man. He is a good unit, but I feel like people, you know, they hype him up too much. I don't know. Like, he's not the best, you know what I mean? He's still really good, but I don't think he's the best unit in the game or anything like that. But yeah, so Nunchuck Bon here. This first card is going to be a lifesteal card, lifesteal AoE, 30% lifesteal on rank 2, 30% lifesteal on rank 3, 250%, 150% on rank 2. He's really good with this card. I feel like it does a lot of damage when you do the extort. The extort is going to be his next card here. So extort actually decreases the target stats and increases the own stats by the same amount. So you're actually going to steal basically 20% attack and defense from the enemies for 2 turns. You can actually store 30% and then 50% on a rank 3, which is going to be super insane. Because if you're fighting an enemy that has just broken stats, you take all those stats, or not all of them, but you take like half of them at rank 3, and their stats are lowered and your stats are buffed by that. So Nunchuck Bon can be a threat when facing like a really strong opponent because of that. And then for his passive here, he's going to decrease all enemies HP related stats by 10% at the start of the next turn if the hero doesn't take damage. Limit 5 times resets upon taking damage. So it's kind of like the Red Gulter passive. But basically how it works is it does a great debuff on the enemy and lowers their HP related stats by 10%. And this can actually stack up 5 times. So he, like, because of that, it's not going to be like the best passive for him, because he probably should have had something else to kind of boost his damage. But Nunchuck Bon is still not a bad unit. And then for his ultimate here, he's going to inflict 350% of attack on one enemy, extort 50% of attack and defense for 2 turns. This can scale up to 525% of attack at 6 out of 6. And when linked up with Jericho, he actually does 600% of attack at 6 out of 6, which is really powerful, man. And because you're extorting the enemy's attack and defense as well, it's just really, really good. So Nunchuck Bon, I would say on the tier list here of the units we have left, for viability, honestly, like, I'm not even gonna be like this is kind of a crazy ranking. We're actually gonna give Nunchuck Bon the 6th spot, and you guys are gonna be wondering, what is the 7th spot? There is no way. But the 7th spot is actually a unit that is he's not too good nowadays. I feel like he's been very, like, what's the word, man? He is falling off a lot, right? But Red Meliodas is going to be the 7th spot, and Red Astronor is going to be the 5th spot. I'm just going to spoil it right now. I think that is a pretty good ranking for this tier list right here. Like, I mean, Red Astronor could probably go here, but I've seen that Red Astronor is just falling off so much. He used to be good when he came out initially, but the thing is with Red Astronor is that he needs amplified buffs to do damage. If he does not have the amplified buffs, he's not going to do damage. But he does have use on CC teams, because you can run him HP defense and have like really high CC because of that. But I think he's just fallen off, like, from basically all metas. He was never good in farming. He was good in PvP, but he fell off. He's not too good anymore. He's only really used as a CC link nowadays. And Red Astronor just really isn't it, man. He just doesn't compete. But yeah, that's why I give him the 5th slot. But he is higher than Nunchuck Bon because he has more use in that he is a CC link. I'm actually giving him the benefit of the doubt here. He could probably be here and Nunchuck Bon here. But I guess we'll just, you know, we'll leave it the way it is. We'll give Red Astronor the benefit of the doubt. I would say Blue Giant DN is definitely better though. But yeah, that's fine. The reason Astronor is so low though is just because Amplify, damage dealt 30% per active buff on self. He does not get any active buffs. He needs a support unit to provide that. The only one he gets is going to be the HP related stats buff at the start of the turn, which is pretty good because you do tank for 3 turns guaranteed. But if you're facing the one Astronor in PvP, he is not tanking that. Like, regardless, he's just not. Type disadvantage and everything. He also has a all reduction AoE card, which is the same as like Blue Lilia if you guys have used her. Depletes 1 ultimate move gauge orb on rank 2 and then 3 on rank 3. Very good. And then for his ultimate here, it's just raw attack straight up, like just nukes, right? For his ultimate, like on the regular one, it's just gonna do 840% at 1 out of 6, and then 6 out of 6 is gonna do 1260. But when linked up with Merlin, it's actually gonna do 1440%, which is kind of crazy. Like, that's the highest damage ultimate in a single hit that any unit can do in the game, which, you know, Green Astronor does have as well.
But Red Astronor, you know, he just does not do damage unless he's buffed. That's what my point of Red Astronor being so low is, just because he needs buffs to be good. While all the other units here, I feel like, are sustainable on their own. Even Nunchuck Bon, he to an extent is sustainable on his own. Like, you just apply the Extort and then you just do the lifesteal card and full heal. So, you know, we're giving him the benefit of the doubt here for CC units. Blue Giant Deanna is a very good CC unit as well, by the way. But yeah, and then we have Red Demon Meliodas. Unfortunately, he has fallen off. He used to be very good. He is not meta in Crimson anymore. He was never meta in PvP. He cannot farm because he's single target on both cards. He unfortunately is the worst of the coin shop units, I would say, personally. But Red Demon Meliodas is the best link though, so I'll let that, you know, get out of the way. He is the best link of the Demon Meliodases, so if you do want to 6-6 him for that reason, by all means, definitely do it. But Red Demon Meliodas has fallen off. The notable things about his kit is he had Ignite on rank 1, 2, and 3 here. Applying 3 Ignite stacks on rank 3, 2 on rank 2, and then 1 Ignite on rank 1, right? So, you know, and then 180, 270, 450. And then his second card here was a Blaze Burst, so it just Infect, which restricts recovery related stacks, so you cannot let the enemy lifesteal or get start of turn healing, so you're not going to be able to do that. You can't let them, you know, bypass that. But yeah, it does a pretty good amount of damage, 220% to 360 on the rank 3. And then his passive here is increases crit chance by 50% when an ally dies, which the only thing with this is that once an ally dies on your team, at that point you're kind of losing the match, right? You are losing the match. Just to get a 50% bonus to the crit chance, just so you have guaranteed 100% chance to crit, is not going to be the best thing in the world, honestly. Like, it could have been like crit damage or something else, but they did decide to give Demon Meliodas crit chance at the time. And then for his ultimate here, which is a very good ultimate to this day, inflicts weak point damage equal to 385% of attack on one enemy, and this can scale up to 578% of attack at 6 out of 6. And when linked up with Merlin, it actually scales up to 660% of attack at 6 out of 6, man. So it's just very good. The only thing is with Demon Meliodas, he doesn't really have much viability nowadays. Like, there's other units you can use that'll just get the job done, and they'll just, you know, outshine him completely at this point. But yeah, this is going to be my tier list for the coin shop units, the coin shop sins, the free to play coin shop sins, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm definitely willing to do the 10 commandments coin shops, so if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.